What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the American Nomad Podcast. Let's hit the intro.
Welcome to the American Nomad Podcast, hosted by the legend himself, or as I refer to him, the legend in his own mind, Rav Holly.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Finally getting this podcast back up and running. And I have a special guest in the house today. Let me introduce my friend, Jen.
Hey, what's going on?
Girl, your mic is loud, loud, loud.
Ooh.
There we go.
Is that better?
That's better.
Okay, thank you. Hey, how's it going, Rob?
It's going good, good. Good to see you. See if we can get let me see if I can get the split screen to work here. It's not working. There it goes. Nope.
We just had it, man. It's all good. It's all good. You got it.
Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. There it is. Finally.
It's like this whole time, guys, we were experiencing so much technical difficulties.
Oh my God. I've been like sitting here for an hour trying to get all this lined out. And I don't even
we had half an hour just setting up, man. I know.
We should probably check our phones and see if this thing is even working on like I usually like look at my phone and see if the freaking stream's even working. Yeah, shows me live on Facebook. Yeah, we're working. Cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Look at your phone. See, go to your Facebook page on your phone. See if it works.
Let me see. Oh yeah, it says we're live.
Live on. So we're streaming on.
This is really awesome.
Yeah, we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and one more. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and YouTube. Facebook.
Twitter?
No, I didn't do Twitter. You may be. I think you're on Twitter, but I'm on. LinkedIn. LinkedIn as well.
I got a notification on my LinkedIn, so this is really cool. Yeah, I'm glad we got it working, man. But right on.
Anyway, welcome to the show. This is my friend Jen. We've known each other, guys. What? How long now?
It's been more than 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah, something like that.
6 years.
Yep.
Was it? Because I met you when I first went to LA.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
And Jen is joining us live from Phoenix, Arizona.
Hi guys. Anyone in Arizona? What's up? Don't be shy. I'm pretty sure you see me around. I'm really tall, so it's hard to miss me. You guys see me around the valley. And Rob, you're in LA right now, right?
Yeah. And so I'm actually in Orange County now. I moved down south, but I actually call her too tall. And the reason I call her too tall is because she's actually 6'4" tall. She's really freaking tall.
You don't see it because I'm sitting down.
Yeah, I don't see it because she's sitting down. But like when we first started when we were lining her up for the podcast, I was like, okay, you have to because you're so tall. Because yeah.
I don't fit in the frame.
Don't fit in the frame.
There we go.
Okay. There we go.
Had
to switch it up a little bit there.
Freaking technology, man. I know. I mean, I'm trying to go back out to LA, but honestly, the first time I went out there with you, Rob, was like quite an experience. Taller than me. Yes, taller than a lot of people.
We had a great time though. That we went to. We were in San Pedro one night. I don't even remember how we even got into San Pedro.
No, man, we were in San Pedro after we got done working on set. You remember? We were working. You called me up. I was in town. The first time we met is when you were still in your Snap-on truck. Remember that?
Right. Yeah, but we hung out one time. I don't even remember. We've hung out several times, but I know one time that you were staying over by the port in San Pedro at the Hyatt or something like that. So I came over there. We hung out one night, and then you were supposed to leave that next day. And then I ended up calling you and I'm like, hey, are you leaving this morning? You're like, yeah, or tomorrow. You're like, yeah, my flight's at so-and-so. I was like, hey, you want to stay one more day and help on Bella Thorne's? We had a photo shoot with Bella Thorne.
That was so cool.
You want a PA with for the day? And you ended up staying. And it was so funny because I was just telling my buddy Javi, we worked on a music video like last week. And I was telling him like on that shoot, like I had like 4 PAs and you were one of them. And the other PA, another PA was Bella Thorne's younger brother.
Oh,
And
that's right. I
and
remember.
this was during the COVID thing too. So it was very important to have decent PAs that would actually work. And out of all the PAs that we had, which was like what, 4 or 5,
Yep.
I think, the only 2 that actually did anything was Jen and Bella's brother.
The guy, I remember.
The rest of the PAs were just completely worthless. They were John's PAs though. You were mine. And if it hadn't been for her, it would have been, the whole day would have been a nightmare, because I had to get all the cast, when they landed, they couldn't come on stage. They had to get COVID tested. So we had to get everybody COVID tested. So that's what I set Jen up doing. So Jen was literally set up outside in the parking lot with a COVID table. And then when the talent arrived, we had let's drop some names, because that makes everybody a complete douche when you're a name drop. We had Terrell Owens, former Dallas Cowboy. We had Chuck Liddell, the Iceman, from UFC heavyweight champion, or light heavyweight champion. Yep. We had Bella, of course, Bella Thorne. We had a Bella Danger was there. Yeah. There was other.
Mom.
Yeah, Bella's mom was there. Yeah, it was a good time. But I had Jen
that were there too. Remember?
Uh-huh.
I remember seeing
there was a bunch of models running around naked, pretty much, because it was a big.
That was a really hard job. Someone had to do it, so I had to take one for the team there.
So Jen was outside doing the COVID test, and then she would bring the talent up, because we were upstairs on a stage. It was a big studio. It had a big sick wall and everything, but Jen would bring everybody in. She would show them the crafty area and the refreshments area. We really didn't have a green room, did we?
Yes, we did. It was a split. The whole set. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, it
was white.
Yeah, on the very entrance is where the crafty was, and then there was like a middle that was kind of a green room. But yeah, it was a really fun day. That was a good day.
We were there since what? 5? Man, I remember when you asked me. I was like, "Well, what time do we got to be on set?" You're like, "By like 6." I'm like, "Oh, so we got to leave here San Pedro by 4 to be just hope not to get stuck in traffic to make it on time on set." Yeah.
I don't even remember the commute. What time did we get there?
Dude, we got there freaking early. I remember because the night before I had told you, I was like, "Hey, just come down to my hotel and then we'll hike it in the morning, right?" But I remember you getting there kind of late. You have Pup with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cute little Pup with
you.
Where
did I leave Pup at? Because I didn't have a sitter.
He came with us, dude.
He was there that day?
Yes. So I remember when you pulled up to the hotel, I knew you had Pup still. So
But he was at the photo shoot with us? I don't remember at the photo shoot.
You left him in the truck, dude.
That's right.
Check on him. Because where you parked was like right outside set. So
you
were just.
But that was when I was driving my Snap-on truck.
Yep.
Yeah, so he had food and water and a bed and everything in there. Yeah. And it wasn't that hot. It was like during the winter time, so he was fine.
And for those of you guys that don't know, I know there's like people that are watching that are my friends. So when I met Rav, he had a 24-foot Snap-on truck.
I still have it.
You still mop around in it?
I thought that you never saw my motorhome, the little motorhome.
No, because I remember at the time you had your Harleys were in the back. Remember you had your Harleys in the back, and then
my Harley's still in the back of the Snap-on truck. Yeah.
But I remember when you had shown up, you had your Harley in the back, and then you had like a really sweet seat. You had some of your studio already set up, like you had done up all that stuff. And I remember when you had Pup.
Yeah, and it's parked right out in the parking lot. They've broken into it, busted the windows out of it. Like they stole all my shit out of it, all my gear, everything that I had in there. They stole everything out of that thing, except the Harley. They can't get the Harley out of it.
Yeah, good luck with that. They might
my Triumph, they stole it last week, but I ended up finding it. They've stripped it. Like they even stole the seat off of it. You can't have anything nice in LA.
Man.
Unless you have like a place to park it indoors. Yeah, you can't have anything. Like I had it right here. Like I was riding it back and forth to work.
Studio's at, huh?
Yeah, and I parked it like one Sunday, and then I went out to leave to go get something to eat, and somebody had come through during the day and stripped it in broad daylight in an office building. It's not like I'm in like some alley or something. This is like a major complex, you've been in here. It's a
I
major
know. It's
office
busy.
building. Yeah.
And it's gated. Not even that, but you only have it open during like what business hours during the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the doors. Yeah.
Well, you had that happen also when I remember you had your truck parked outside of the studio, and that's when they like got all your stuff, huh?
Yeah, they got like I did a photo shoot. It was literally on my birthday, and all of my studio lights from my old studio that were super expensive. Each light was like $1,000, and I had 4 to 6 lights in that case, in a big Pelican case. And some friends of mine that are really good friends, they asked me to go if I would do like Christmas photos. It was like this time of year. It was like a month from today. They asked me if I would do Christmas photos, family photos for their Christmas cards. I was like, yeah, sure, that'll be fun. So my lights were in my storage unit. I have a storage unit not far from here, and they were in my storage. So I went to my storage unit, got the lights out, driving the Snap-on truck. I went to their house, did the photo shoot, and then I hadn't eaten that day. So this is like late in the evening. It was like 6 or 7 in the evening. So I was starving. So when I left the photo shoot, I was going to take the lights right back to my storage unit, but I pulled into like Five Guys. Do you have Five Guys in Arizona?
Yes, of course.
So I pulled into Five Guys to get a burger, and then I reached for my wallet, and I didn't have my wallet. I was like, oh. I either dropped my wallet because I was like crawling around on the floor, like taking pictures of their kids and stuff. So I'm like, oh, I must have dropped my wallet out of my pocket. So I text them like, hey man, can you guys look for my wallet? Because I think I must have dropped it during the photo shoot. Yeah. And then I'm thinking, well, maybe I was in such a hurry that I left it on my desk. So I didn't get anything to eat. I just drove straight back to my office, got to my office, walked in here, and sure enough, my wallet was sitting right on my desk. So I texted them back. I'm like, hey, sorry, I have my wallet. I left it in my office. But then I just had like an adrenaline dump. So I just didn't even go get anything to eat. And I was like, fuck, I got to take those lights back to the storage, all of my lighting and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'll take it back in the morning. And it was just like my birthday. This was like December 14th. It was my birthday, or the night before my birthday. So it's like December 13th. So the next morning was my birthday. So I was like, I'll take them back in the morning. I'm going to get up for my birthday and do some stuff anyway. So I woke up early the next morning, and then I went out to take the lights back. My truck had been broken into, and they stole all of my shit out of my truck. Yeah. Yeah. And it was so crazy because those lights had been in my storage for like 2 years. I hadn't pulled them out of my storage in like 2 years.
And the one time you pull it out, you get
the one time I pull them out, and then I didn't take them back to the storage, and they got stolen out of the truck.
Yeah. Shit, dude. Well, you've gotten some of your stuff back. I know, like, you and I were talking about that.
Yeah, I've bought stuff to replace it. Like I have I have Godox stuff now. Like I have a Godox light, but like the stuff I had before was Pro Photo. So the difference between the Godox and the Pro Photo is kind of like the difference between the Pro Photo would be like a Rolls Royce, and the Godox would be like a Toyota Prius. Yeah. Yeah. Like the new Pro Photos to replace what I had, the new ones, because I had D2s. So the new the B10X Pro Photos, they're like $2,000 a light. Yeah, they're super expensive. But I don't have a studio anymore, so it's not that big a deal. If I get a studio again, which I hope someday, I'll get Pro Photo again. And the funny thing is I'm using the Godox. And wait, let me grab the Godox light. Give me 2 seconds.
I want to see it.
That's what she said.
Oh, Rob, who's watching? Random. Hi. I don't know who's watching, but I like to see that people are like commenting on the side. That's so cool, man.
Yeah, I don't know who's in the chat. I can't tell.
I don't know who that is either, but they know you, man. They were like, hey, I remember your truck.
I don't know how to do. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, here we go. I see the chat now.
Yeah.
Okay. A random stacker. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Who else we got in here? Random. Oh, you came in on both your accounts. So anyway, this is my Godox light. And the one thing I do like about this light compared to the Proto Photos I had, the Pro Photos I had were D2s, and so you had to plug them in. They had to be plugged into electricity, right? So this light actually, which is kind of cool. Let me see if I can. No, there we go. So this light is kind of cool because it's remote. It has a battery, and it was only $700, I think, a little over 700.
Yeah.
Now I financed it with my camera shop. Random Nomad, what's up, brother? Good to see you.
Yeah.
So it comes in a cool case and everything. It's got a cool case, and but Godox is like it's funny because it's like it's the Chinese stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it's actually a pretty cool light, and I like it because it has a battery that goes on it, so I can just use it remotely. It has a battery.
Have you used it for any remote shots or shooting it?
Yeah. I've done a shoot with it. So here's the battery for it. So I plan on getting some more, but the new Pro Photos, they have batteries too. And I'm going to get the B10s at some point if I ever get a studio again. But the funny thing is, these are the cheap ones. These are kind of what you would consider Chinese junk, and they're $700.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, like, when I first started using Godox, like I have a Godox flash up here, and you can't even get the battery out of it. The battery expanded. So like I can't even get the battery out of the freaking flash. So Godox used to be like Chinese crap, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I still have that perception of Godox in my head. Like if you use Godox, it's because you were just beginning photography or whatever, and that's all you could afford. But the funny thing is like Godox is really good now. Trav, man, what's going on, bro? Matilda, good to see you.
More your people hopping on, man.
Yeah, more people coming in. So I wonder if there's a chat overlay button. Oh, that puts the chat on the screen. That's cool.
Somebody's put a comment. Somebody put in a comment so we can see that come in on the screen with you guys chatting with us.
There's supposed to be like a thing where I can post a comment up on the. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see. There we go, Matilda. Hey, Rav, it's been a minute. Yes, it's been a minute, Matilda. Good to see you.
Hi.
It's not working on this. It's not working. It says new comments will display here. Oh, there's not been any new comments.
Yeah.
So, can you see how does it look like the screen? I'm above you now and the chat things on the side? Okay, cool.
Yep.
So anyway, there we go. Hey, Matilda said, hey, Trav, man.
Hey. There we go. Yeah. What's up? It's pretty cool.
I forgot that I was streaming on YouTube. So this is all of my YouTube family coming back. I haven't streamed on YouTube in so long.
What's up?
What's up, guys? Good to see you guys. So this is my friend Jen, if you're just joining us from Arizona.
Hey, guys.
And as I was saying earlier, this girl is, I call her the giant. I call her, because she's 6'4". It's so funny because walking around with her in LA, I always feel like it's a different level walking around with her, because like she like towers over me. It's insane.
Hey, Matilda, what's up? I know I'll never forget, dude, when you were in San Pedro and we were done working on set. Remember how we went to that little hole in the wall bar and like all these bikers knew you? I guess we lived in Long Beach, right?
Yeah. It was so funny because I was telling her, because I used to live in Long Beach and we were in San Pedro. But I was telling you about my buddy, one of my buddies that had done some work on my Harley.
Yes.
And then what
was it? West Coast Choppers or Customs or whatever?
Yeah, West Coast. That was West Coast Choppers, which was
West Coast Choppers. There we go. Yeah, I know that shop was there down in Long Beach, right?
Yeah. That's West Coast Choppers. It was the world famous West Coast Choppers. Jesse James, West Coast Choppers. So anyway, but I was telling Jen that this guy worked on my bike, and he lived in San Pedro, and I hadn't seen him in years. And we ended up going to a bar, and he was at the bar.
He was at the bar, literally sitting as we walked in. It was the craziest thing.
I'd just been telling Jen about the guy, like maybe 20 minutes before.
We were walking in,
and then we walk into the bar, and there I go, Rich? And he's like, "Right?" He didn't even recognize me at first, remember?
Yeah.
And I said, Jen, this is Rich, the guy I was just telling you about. So crazy. Yeah. So awesome.
That was such a good night, man. And
that was a lot of fun. We got lit.
And it was what, last call? We were maybe
an
hour.
Yeah.
Dude, but we were on set. It's like 5 a.m.
We sat around in the back, remember, for a while. Because there was that outside seating area in the back.
Patio?
Yeah, we were there for a while. It wasn't quite last call. I think we got there, but it was funny because when we left, we were pretty lit, and then because we were drinking Jameson shots and beer and Coronas, and then we leave, and I'm like, I don't remember what was said, but I was like too short, and you're like, too short? Who's too short?
I still have that video.
I was like, you don't know who Too Short is? How in the you not know who Too Short is? Come on. So you're like, no, I thought you were BSing me. And I was like, no,
I wasn't, dude. I was like, show me who Too Short is. So here I am walking literally too short. Like,
yeah,
showed me, dude.
So Random Stacker, you got it working on your end. It wasn't working. I guess Trav Man. Good to see you, Trav Man.
Hey, what's up?
So yeah, so I introduced this girl to Too Short. She didn't know who Too Short was. She had never seen Too Short before, or never heard Too Short. You can't play it because it will get
no, that is not. But if you want to know who Too Short is, like me, if you don't know, just YouTube.
And it's so funny because I call you Jen, but you go by Joy. Jen and Joy.
It's my middle name. You know what I'm saying? But you exposed me to that. Man, I tell a lot of my friends about that because that night I had such a good time with you and working on set. I want to work with you again, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, with the strikes, hopefully when the strikes are over. But so for
how has that been? I know you were telling me briefly about it.
It's been a nightmare, dude. Like, I know there's like people that are moving out of their houses into their cars, like film crew people. Random Stacker says, I know who Too Short is. And Random's like up in Wisconsin in BFE area, and he knows who Too Short was. I don't know.
Man, get out of here, okay? I know that stuff.
It's all good, though. So, yeah, what I was saying earlier, if you guys just joined us, like, was it the last time that you were here? It was the last time you were here that you worked on the photo shoot.
I was on set with you, yeah.
Yeah, so she came in visiting, and I went out and visited her at her, where you were in San Pedro at the hotel, right? And I went out, and then I don't remember how that all happened, but I went out and visited you, and then you were supposed to leave to go back to Phoenix the next morning, and I texted you because I had booked that photo shoot that night with Bella Thorne. So I texted you. I'm like, hey, are you leaving in the morning? You're leaving in the morning, right? You're like, yeah, my flight's at so-and-so. I'm like, hey, you want to stay one more day and help me as a PA on Bella Thorne's photo shoot? And you're like, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm there.
So she stayed and helped out, and she had never PA'd in her life. She'd never been a production assistant in her life, ever. And and we had probably 5 production assistants, I would say.
Yeah, including Bella Thorne's brother.
Yeah, but it was you and Bella Thorne's brother were the only 2 PAs that were worth the crap. All the rest of them were terrible. That's why I don't even remember their names. They were terrible. They just disappeared. You didn't even know where they were.
Set list for that.
Yeah, you didn't even know where they were. They were just gone. Yeah, it was a good time though. And we had Terrell Owens, former Dallas Cowboy. We had Chuck the Iceman Liddell, former UFC light heavyweight champion. We had Abella Danger, who was a retired former adult. She used to be the #1 adult film star. I don't know if she is retired. I don't know if she is retired. I just seen a thing for her that saying she was still rated as the #1 adult film star, which was kind of crazy.
She's pretty up there, man. I've been keeping up with the girls. Actually, I don't know if you remember, but a lot of the girls, when they were getting ready and they were doing makeup and stuff, they were talking to me. Some of them actually gave me their contact, and I still talk to them today. Cool. Man, let me tell you, Bella is hitting it big still. She's still sponsored by Pornhub.
Yeah.
But
yes, Random Stacker, the corn star, Abella Danger.
Yes, the corn star.
I've seen her, and then she was in. So when I did Bella's second music video, I've done 2 music videos for Bella Thorne, and the second music video that we did, Bella Danger was in that music video, and she was a talent, and I was the second or I was assistant second AD on that, so I was in charge of all the talent that day, and so Bella was literally in her room, bare butt naked. And I'm like standing there trying to give her direct, telling her, "Oh, we gotta get you through hair and makeup," and she's just like totally butt naked. I was like, "Yeah, definitely."
That was the whole set the whole time when I was there. Are you kidding me?
Well,
Guys,
that was the photo shoot, though.
Man, that was. I know. I wanted to go. I remember you told me that just before you got hired to work that set, you guys had just finished up the music video with John.
Yeah. That's right.
You and John working for her. Yeah, she contracted you guys. I remember that.
Yeah, we had just wrapped the music video, and so why is this music is supposed to be like lo-fi and it sounds like it's Asian. Try some ambient. I can still hear like your mic though.
I don't know how close. I'm pretty far away.
No, you don't hear it. There's like a reverb in your mic. Yeah, I can hear it.
I can't hear it.
It's all good. You'll hear it when you watch this back.
Probably.
If it's recording it, yeah. It's like it's hard to explain. It's like a sounds like that.
I don't know what it is. I try to get it off before we go.
Yeah, that's what she said.
So I wanted to ask you, Rev, what is it that you worked on recently? I saw that you were doing something for a music video with a Ferrari. Like, what was that?
Yeah, I directed a video for an artist. His name is Skunk M40, and he's kind of like his music style is like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like kind of like it's like heavy rock or like I don't even know.
Compared to a band, what is it, like a band you compare it to?
No, he's like a solo artist, but he produces like all of his own music. I wonder if we could like pull up his it's like a super.
You're gonna go Joe Rogan and pull up, see YouTube.
Jamie, pull that up.
Good.
Random Stacker says, "Man, I'm having technical difficulties on my end. Maybe the Twitch stream will run better on my end." Yeah, try this Twitch stream. Random.
I think Twitch is gonna be is working better than YouTube from what I saw with the comments. Yeah, and I'm curious to see why though, because remember before we got on, I set up the accounts on my end too.
Yeah. I want. So do you? I've got our I have a text message. I have the screen split between us and then the chat on the side. I wonder if that's what you see on the screen when you look. It should be, right?
All this buffering keeps throwing me behind the stream. I wonder why there's buffering on his.
Oh yeah, it shows it. I don't know why it's buffering. We got like I've got
Matilda said she's good. So
yeah, so it's because Random Stacker is in the middle of effing nowhere up in Wisconsin or wherever the hell he's at up there. Wisconsin. He's up there in Cheese Land up there. So it's all on your end, Random. Unfortunately, bro.
I want to ask you still riding, Rob?
Am I still what?
Are you still riding?
My motorcycle? No, they stripped it.
You haven't fixed your Harley?
No. I'm not fixing anything until I've got like a place to be indoors. I don't want to fix my Harley. They stripped all the parts off my freaking Triumph.
Yeah, true.
Until I can get it in.
We got 2 from Wisconsin. Travman says he's in Wisconsin too.
Oh, Travman, maybe I'm getting you guys mixed up. Travman and
Island, Alabama.
Random, where are you at? Are you in Wisconsin as well? I can't remember.
Alabama on here. Who else we got on here? From where? That's cool.
Okay. Random switched over to Twitch. Let's see if this works better. He says, "Let's see if it works better on my end than Twitch."
Nice. Nice. You got any projects you've been working on, Rob?
Dude, it's been so slow, man. It's crazy because of the strikes going on. So there's like no work as far as like the film industry. Like I said, there's like I was I'm part of these film industry groups, and like the other day, like this guy that's a grip, he posted like 57 years old, 18 years in the film industry, and this is where I'm at. And it showed him in his car. He just moved into his car because he got evicted from his apartment.
Oh,
Strike's
man.
been going on for over 200 days. And you got to realize the average rent in LA is $2,000.
Yeah.
So that's what for 200 days. So what is that like? People are like behind on their rent, like 10, 15, 20 grand.
Damn.
Yeah, that's insane.
Property management companies are probably brutal as hell too.
And then you have to realize like we had COVID for like the pandemic for like 3 years. And so just as everybody was getting back to work, boom, we have the strike. So now everybody's like, it's crazy.
How has it been working like with the larger film companies? I wanted to ask you about that because I'm curious. So like Fox, for example, I know you were with Fox for a little bit. Or like anything
I was with Fox for several years.
Yeah.
I did a lot of Ryan Murphy productions. I did the first Ryan Murphy production I did was American Crime Story: The People versus O.J. Simpson, that was nominated for 22 Emmy Awards, and I think it won 12. And then from that, I moved over to once that wrapped, I moved over to American Horror Story, and then they did American Crime Story, the Versace.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, and I was offered that, but I was already on Horror Story. And like when American Crime Story wrapped, there was a bigger gap between Crime Story and Horror Story. Like when Horror Story wrapped, it would be like no time at all before we would go right into production again on the next season of Horror Story. But on American Crime Story, there would be a bigger gap. So you'd be out of work longer. So that's why I decided to stay on American Horror Story. And then I did like 3 seasons of American Horror Story. I did Covenant, I did Cult, and I did Roanoke. And then when Hotel was filming, which was Stephanie, Lady Gaga was on that. That was her first time on American Horror Story. So when American Horror Story Hotel was filming, I was on the stage next door because we were filming American Crime Story: The People versus O.J. Simpson. So they were sister productions. So I could literally walk off my stage and walk directly to the stage next door and be on the Horror Story. So I have photos of me running around the hotel because people don't realize the interior of the hotel for American Horror Story Hotel was built on stage next door to us. It was one of the largest sets ever built because it was a 2 or 3 story hotel, and it actually had a working elevator, and they spent $80,000 on the elevator. It was the only time they had built a working elevator on a stage, which was crazy. So if you watch American Horror Story Hotel, realize that entire interior of that hotel was real, and it was built on soundstage. I think it's 6 on the Fox lot on the off Pico. And
I had no clue.
Yeah, people think that it was like a real hotel. They think
it was a hotel. Yeah, because I thought it might
like
have been something like that you guys might have rented out for
no.
to film the show.
That's what everybody thinks. And like when you went up on the top floor, there was like a huge bar over in the corner, and that was all on stage. It was all built on stage.
Wow.
So I've been on a lot of stages, and I've been on a lot of TV shows that had very extravagant setups on the stage, but that was the creme de la creme. I've never seen another set that's built on stage that was as insane as American Horror Story Hotel, because that was crazy. And that was where I met Stephanie, aka Lady Gaga, was that. And then I ended up working with her like the next season on I think it was Covenant with Kathy Bates. And then I did Covenant, or maybe it was Roanoke. I think I did Roanoke, I did Covenant, and then I did Cult. And then I heard through the grapevine that they were Fox, Brad Falchuk was coming out with another TV show. And I'm like, what is this one? and then they offered me the pilot to do 911. What's your emergency?
Oh, that's
Well,
right. That came
all of
out.
those people don't realize, like American. Let's see, American. Well, first Ryan Murphy's very first hit that got him on the map was Nip Tuck. So that was his show back in way back, and
When
then
Grey's Anatomy started.
so it was Nip Tuck, and then his big one was Glee. That's what made him a huge success, was Glee, because Glee was super super popular. I never even seen it, but it was really. You remember Glee?
I had a lot of my friends watch it because they were really into theater. They would
Yeah.
get together to watch the episodes, and I'm like, that's cool for them. I
didn't. It wasn't my thing either. But like, so Glee was his first big hit, and then we did American Crime Story, The People versus OJ, and then he became like the it guy in Hollywood for like everything he just turned out were all hits. So I ended up doing the pilot for 911 What's Your Emergency, and then I ended up signing on the first season of that. And then I did like 2 seasons, and I do what like a lot of people don't know, like I'm like a habitual day player. So they have a thing that's like called a day player. So like when I was on American Crime Story, The People versus OJ Simpson, I was staff. I was a staff. I was staff on that show.
You weren't a director. You weren't PA.
No. But I'm saying I was on the production. I was a staff employee on the production.
Gotcha.
But a lot of times people work freelance where you're not actually you're what's called a day player. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like for instance, let's say you do makeup, right? But you're not staffed on a show. But some show may be having like a big production day, and you'll get like a text message from a second AD, and they'll be like, "Hey, Joy, we're having a big production day on Friday. We're gonna have like 600 BG actors. Are you available to do makeup?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm sure." So they'll put you on the call sheet and book you for that day. So that's what I've always been, is like a habitual day player, because I like my freedom. You go in and you get a full day rate like everybody else.
Yep.
And then at the end of the day, sometimes the second AD will come to you and go, "Hey, are you available tomorrow?" Or they'll text you, "Are you available tomorrow?" "Yeah, sure." So you're on the call sheet again, and then it just goes from there. So I've signed on to a show to come on to just day play on a show. Ended up working for like 2 months every day on a show. But I like being a day player because like all you have to do is, like, if you don't want to work or if you have something else come up, all you have to do is tell them during the day, like, "Hey, I'm not available tomorrow. I've booked something else." And they'll be like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries, no worries." Yeah. So
That's freaking cool, man. And it's crazy. I just started watching the new American Horror Story with Kim K.
Oh yeah. I cannot believe that it's still going.
How did they get Kim in number 1? Like,
well, because it's Ryan Murphy. Everybody wants to work with Ryan Murphy.
Yeah.
And Ryan is really good about pulling, like, that's how he got Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga had never really acted until she done like American Horror Story. He likes to pull
really good.
He likes to pull people that, like, I guess, you know what I mean, that gets a lot of buzz as well. I've spent a lot of time on set with Ryan. He's a genius when it comes to productions. And then he was on Fox for years, and then Netflix offered him $350 million to go to Netflix. So his first Netflix production was called Hollywood, and I did that one too. I worked on that as well. Oh my gosh, Random Stacker says, "I want to break my damn phone right now." It's
He says
buffering.
nothing is working for this poor guy.
Yeah, it's buffering for him. Let's see what Travman says. Travman says, "I came up with quantum black solar, the quantum mechanics of nature and eyes. The quantum mechanic function of quantum black solar is where it is tuned to the full light spectrum, including UV and IR, which is infrared. Yeah, Travman's into big time into solar and solar batteries and stuff."
Speaking of which, well, how's your new truck been? Because I know you went camping in it not so long ago, didn't you?
Oh yeah, so I got a Nissan Xterra. I put a lift on it and stuff, and I came from a Land Rover. I don't know. You never saw my last Land Rover, but
You showed me pictures of it because I remember you've always had a Land Rover.
I'd been driving Land Rovers since the late 90s. Like my last two major trucks were Land Rovers, and I love Land Rovers because they're so different. But the only problem with them is they're not like a Japanese truck. You do have problems with them, and they're a pain in the ass because they're so expensive to fix. But the funny thing is like this Nissan Xterra, like I've had, like my last Land Rover, I've had more problems with this Xterra than I did the Land Rover.
Really?
Yeah.
You've been stranded?
Hmm?
Have you been stranded on it?
Well, yeah. But it was just a battery, so that wasn't a big deal. And I had AAA, but so the battery wasn't a big deal. The battery just died. And but like right now, the brake booster is bad. So like when you press on the gas, it sounds like you're filling up an air tank. So let's see what else is wrong.
That doesn't.
Oh, and then the horn doesn't work. So I ordered.
What? Isn't that just like a relay? Have you looked at your wires?
No, it's the whole steering wheel has to come out. This is the part I've had for 4 months. You have to take the entire airbag, the steering wheel, all the switches for your blinkers.
Yeah.
This thing is called, I can't remember the name of it. It's like an entire piece, and the whole thing has to be replaced. And this thing right here was over $200. You can see it's a Nissan original.
Oh, it's a Nissan part, yeah. OEM.
But I have to get a mechanic to put it in. I was gonna try to do it myself, and I'm like, fuck no.
To do all of that?
You literally have to take the airbag out, the everything. I can't remember what it's called. Let me see if I can Google it.
Yo, that's wild.
It's called
I stuck to bikes. That's why I stuck to bikes. That's
Oh, it's called the clock spring. It's called a clock spring. So you have to replace the clock spring. So let me see if I can do like a screen. That'd be cool if we can do a screen share, and I'll show you what you got to do.
No, that's too much. I ain't got time for that. Hey, Travman says, Freedom Dove, is it in the chat? She got a recent upload about a laser engraver.
Can you see the clock spring? Yeah. So this is the clock spring. Yeah, this whole thing.
Guys, Aaron here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to replace a clock spring.
So look, you gotta take the entire steering wheel out.
Switch right here reset the light that way, or we can.
So anyway, yeah, that's what you got to do. Pain in the ass.
Stop the airbag from going off on you.
Yeah, you got to take the airbag out and hope it doesn't go off while you're taking it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I decided to have like a professional do it, because I was going to do it myself, try to do it myself or attempt to do it, but then like I don't want to like pop the airbag, and then that's a whole other ball of wax to do that.
I wonder why. Did you disable the comments, Rav?
Well, you can't see them. Yeah, I just took them off the screen. I can put it back on the screen.
Because you got asked, do you have a NV or something Nissan? Random Stacker asked you.
He asked what?
If you have a NV or something.
I have a Nissan Xterra.
Nissan Xterra. You
guys haven't seen my Nissan Xterra? It's on my screen up here. I don't know if I have pictures of it that I can show. Let's see.
I haven't been in it, dude. I just know you did. You to close. No, you weren't in Joshua Tree. Where did you go? I remember you sent me the video when you were with your drone and you went out to film.
I went out to the Cleveland National Forest. It's been a minute ago. I did like a YouTube video. I don't even have any pictures of my Xterra on this computer. So weird.
Do you have any plans to come down here, Rav, to Arizona?
To Arizona? I don't. You know, the funny thing is, though, is because I know you're there, I actually end up, when I'm looking for work, like there's some sites that I look for work on, and I always look for Phoenix because I know you're there, and I'll just hang out with you if I book something. Sure.
It'd be great to see you. That's why I want to go back to LA. Well, besides getting work, I'd be down to hang out with you, man. I know you and I threw a lot of ideas at each other. I'm still working on stuff.
Random Stacker says it's the Xterra that has the issue. Yeah, it's the Xterra. I never had that kind of problem with my Land Rover. Discovery. I had a shitload of miles on my Land Rover Discovery too. And like my Land Rover Discovery, like like I parked it in storage when I started traveling around the country in my RV.
Yeah.
So it was fine. I drove it to the storage unit, but it got destroyed in the storage unit because the storage unit flooded at a flash flood, and it got water in the truck and everything else. It still ran. I ended up giving it to a friend of mine. Like I just give it to him, and he fixed it and drove it forever.
Dude.
Traded it in on a new truck. I should have kept it myself or just sold it for $2,500 or anything.
Yeah. Have you been looking at boats still?
No, sailboats. I do a little bit, but like the slips have got so expensive in California that it's like insane. I mean, it's like if you want to get a boat slip like a Marina Del Rey, it's like $1,800 for a boat slip. I mean, like what's like, yeah, it's insane.
Jesus, dude, what's going? California's that, man. That's why
oh, here we go. So here, I found a picture of my Xterra. Let me see if I can share the screen.
I'm sorry to hear that, Trav, man. He said his phone's not working.
So can you see my Xterra?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a nice photo. Nice.
Yeah, that's the Xterra.
You did a nice. I like the lift kit you put on it. It looks really good.
And the wheels. I did the wheels as well.
I've always enjoyed vehicles that have, like, for example, like older Jeep Cherokees. There's just like a specific year Jeep Cherokee that just looks really good when it has a good lift kit. The wheels are spaced, not too much, not too obnoxious, like crawlers, right? But I think Xterras, they look better the way you set up your lift. Some trucks look the same way, but I feel like people that overdo it, it doesn't look good on the vehicle. But I guess like it depends on the body, right? Like, for example, if you were to do that like on a Tahoe.
Yeah, the Tahoe. Well, the reason I went with an Xterra is because like I wanted a truck that I could go off road with, and the Xterra actually has a factory locker in the back of it. I don't know if you guys saw the Xterra. It's actually got a factory locker in the back of it. I've taken it off road a little bit, but nothing compared to what I thought I would. But I plan on getting like a rooftop tent for it and all kinds of stuff. But I've just I don't have any money because I haven't worked. So Random Stacker says the 04 to 01 for the XJ Jeep Cherokee. Yeah, I saw. What's this? It's the XJ. That's the square one. It's a square SUV.
I thought it was the. Hold on. There's FJ, CJ.
Well, the FJ is a cruiser. That's a Toyota. That's a Land Cruiser.
But then there's also the CJ.
There's a CJ. That's the old Jeep. That's the older Jeep, like the 80s. But there's the square plain Jeep. I can't remember what it's. Yeah, like an 84. So there's like so I watched a video with like all of these big built out Jeeps, like regular Jeeps, and this old crappy Jeep Cherokee on 33s ended up beating all of them. Yeah, beat all of them. We're talking about like really nice, like we're talking about Jeeps that had $50,000-$60,000 worth of lift put on them, and this old ass stock Jeep Cherokee with no lockers, anything, running 33-inch tires ended up beating every Jeep out there. And one of the brand new Broncos, this guy built. Like that, man. This guy had a brand new Bronco, and he had put like a big lift on it, was running 40-inch tires on it, everything. He ended up flipping that Bronco over and trashing it. It's like a $130,000 truck, trashing it. And the old J Cruiser was the one that the old square body J Cruiser outclimbed everything. There was even a Jeep, like a regular Jeep with an extended frame that had like 37-inch tires. And that old Cherokee beat everybody. It was crazy. And I think they're ugly though. The square body Cherokee, they're not my favorite looks wise, but like they're very capable of climbing. And the other thing is like anything with the thing I love about a Land Rover is they have they're not in IFS, independent front suspension. They have an actual solid front axle. So like that's one thing I hate about the Xterra is it doesn't have a solid front axle. My Land Rovers all had a solid front axle. If you're going to buy an off-road vehicle, you know, if you're going to be going through the desert really fast on like the dirt roads and stuff, like IFS is the best. You know what I mean? But if you're going to be doing any kind of like rock maneuvering or anything, you need a solid front axle because you don't get the articulation. You don't get the movement in the wheel unless you have a solid front axle.
Don't even remind me, dude. I got to replace my front differential. So
what do you have?
I have a Lexus, a 2009 Lexus RX 350.
Oh, you have the SUV?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to replace the front diff on that guy.
Is it a 4-wheel drive?
It is not. It's 2-wheel.
What's 2-wheel?
Mine is. Yeah, it's a 2-wheel.
Yeah, I see it. What year is yours?
2009.
2009.
And for those of you that don't know, I was actually a motorcycle mechanic.
Yeah.
I went to motorcycle school out here.
Yeah, there's.
Oh, Rav and I hit it off. We're talking about bikes.
What is the I can't remember. There's another Lexus.
You're talking about the 330H or the 400? There's a 330H and then there's a 400. And
no, there's one that's like a 2004 model, but it's they're really sought after right now.
Are you talking about the IS 300s?
Maybe. I'm trying to remember.
IS 300s are super, super big. When I used to flip and sell cars, IS 300s would go out like hotcakes.
I'm trying to remember the. Okay, here it is. It's the RX3 or the GX460.
GX460 is another one too. IS 300s are hot here.
The GX460 and 470 because they're very like a 2004 model. Yep. They're very capable off-road vehicles. Yeah, the LX470.
Really?
Yeah. I was just pulling some up. Hold on, let me go back and I'll
IX 470.
Yeah, watch. I'll show you. I'll show you these. Share screen. I'll show you these with a lift on them. You ready? Yeah, check this out.
Oh yeah. I've seen those.
Yeah, I actually would get rid. I would probably get rid of my because the one thing I really don't like about my Xterra is the interior. I really don't like the interior of it.
What turns you off about it?
It's just a cloth, and it's Toyota used to be that way too. It's just I don't know. The cloth interior is just like the seats stain really easy, and if the interior was leather maybe, and I've looked at like getting like the seats reupholstered leather, like when I get like. There's still a lot of things I like to do the Xterra. Like if I get like the cash to do it, I think changing out the seats, but just like even the steering wheel, like compared to my Land Rover, like it's just like it's hard to explain. Have you ever seen like a Zippo lighter?
Yeah.
And you have like a plastic Bic lighter?
Yep.
That's a difference between a Land Rover and a Nissan Xterra. The Nissan Xterra feels like a Bic lighter to me. And a Land Rover feels like a
Zippo.
A Zippo, yeah.
I still have to fix my bike, but I've only had Lexuses and Chevys, but Chevys like have always let me down.
Lexus, I love Lexus because really Lexus is just a Toyota. It's just a fancy Toyota.
That, and I also looked at, Lexus and Toyota are like the top 5 most affordable vehicles to buy
Toyota
parts for.
Oh yeah. Toyotas
are parts to replace.
Toyotas are not cheap right now. They're
not. No, absolutely. But I mean, like from what I've looked at, because that's part of the reason why I purchased a vehicle. Was because like those parts are easy to get. I was really looking at the Toyota FJ Cruiser. That's what I really did want. I like an FJ Cruiser. The older ones. You know what I'm talking about? I wanted to ask you, do you ever look at the auctions that happen? I'm curious to know about the auctions that happen out in LA because I get a link here locally for the cars that go up on auction, and there's some pretty like. Well, you can find cars. Cars are very. It's like I was telling like a bunch of my friends in Texas. Like there's cars here in California. They're very, very cheap. Like a car that's like a car that's. Let's say you can get cars that are like really, really good shape, one owner that are 2010, 2012 that look practically brand new. You know what I mean? They just have like miles on them. You know what I mean? Like 100,000 miles or whatever.
but like the same car in like Dallas, like this same, like, let's say 2014, 26, let's say 2016, like a 2016 car that's got, let's say 110,000 miles on it, right? If it's sold in Dallas, it would be, let's say it would be like $11,000, right? In Dallas. In California, it'll be 6,500. Because the reason being is because the restrictions for getting your the hell is it called? The EPA restrictions, the smog, getting your car to pass smog.
For emissions. It's emissions, right?
So impossible here in California to get your vehicle. There's brand new vehicles that come off the freaking line that won't pass smog. It's crazy. Yeah. So it's like I said this on another podcast of mine. Like, you can pull up at a red light, like in downtown LA or around LA somewhere, where it's, you know, bumper to bumper traffic, and you can look around at all the expired license plates, all the expired stickers. Like, you can't even drive a day in Texas, in Dallas, with an expired registration. You'll get pulled over. But in
Texas doesn't mess around with that. That's true.
But in California, even in El Paso, which is insane, because it's such a, it's, you know, it's so close to the border, you know, you think you'd get some leeway, but you don't. No, you can't drive around with an expired inspections, and there's an inspection sticker in Texas. You have to get your vehicle inspected. Like, my truck would not even be legal because the horn doesn't work. Because you have in Texas,
they wouldn't let you pass inspection. You wouldn't pass
inspection. California doesn't. That's one thing. California doesn't even have an inspection, but you have a 2-year smog inspection. So trying to get your vehicle to pass that 2-year smog inspection. So California doesn't want you to drive a vehicle that's older than 7 years old, is basically what it is. So once a vehicle ages out after 7 years, they want you out of that into a new vehicle. They don't want you even driving a vehicle that's old. So like my Snap-on truck, they completely made it illegal. My Snap-on truck is not even legal to drive in California. Any diesel truck that's older than a 2010 is illegal to drive in California. I can't even register it. I had to go to Arizona to register it, and then, I haven't registered in like 2 years because I have to go back to Arizona to renew the tags.
Dude.
But it's illegal to drive in California. So I mean, I'm saving it because maybe I'll move out of California. But I drove it around for a year in California with no plates or anything on it. When the plates expired, I just took them off.
And I'm surprised that, like,
it's a Snap-on truck, it's a Snap-on truck, so they don't even think that much about it. They don't even pay that much attention to it.
That I know. I remember when I was with you, people thought you still had tools in the damn.
Yeah. I'd have people come up knocking on the. I'd have people come knocking on the door. Hey man, I want to trade in my broke tool. I'm like, it doesn't work.
I didn't believe it. I didn't believe you when you told me until we went out. You think you took me down to Santa Monica and we were having a down there. You had just found parking because you were like, you knew where the set spots were.
Yeah. And then
someone was like, Are you on lunch right now? I need a warranty on my tool.
Yeah. And I was like, retired, bro. This is a retired.
I was laughing. I was like, no way. It says it's not in service. Yeah. Like, your truck says not active, not in service.
And
you're not.
The funny thing is the people that get the most pissed off is like the Snap-on guys. Like, I've had them just get really shitty. You can't be driving that truck in my zone or whatever. I'm like, bro, I'm not selling tools. You can look in here. There's no tools in here. So anybody that comes up here, I'll even tell them, like, you know, go to your local thing. You know what I mean? Like, where I'm at now, like, I knew the guy. I found out who the local guy was. So I would just give him his number. Like, here's the local guy. Call him.
There you go.
And I've never met the guy, but after I did it, I passed him a couple of times. We were like coming each other, and he like waved at me. You know what I mean? Because he would see me driving around the area in my Snap-on truck. You know what I mean? And he would like wave at me because I would literally give out his number. Like, here, call this guy. You know, call this guy. He's the local rep right here. He's your guy.
That's so cool, dude. No, I thought that was so funny when that happened. We were out. You still drive it around, or no? You're just kind of like,
no, it's got the water pump went out on it. I was driving it till the water pump went out, and I've got the water pump under my desk. I just have to replace the water pump. I used to work. It's so funny because like, I I used to fix my Porsche when I was married. I had a garage. You know, I had like a shop in my garage. I worked on my own Porsche. I had a Porsche. I did all the work on it. I had a 68 Chevy pickup. I had a Land Rover. I had a GMC Yukon. I worked on all of my vehicles, changed the oil, everything. I despise, like, even changing batteries. I don't even want to change a battery on a truck anymore. Like in my Snap-on truck, I had to pull the big batteries off and they're under the step. It was a pain in the ass.
Are they like the huge?
Yeah, they weigh like 100 pounds. They're the big yellow Optimas.
Yep.
And so they're down in the step and they're a pain in the ass to get out of there. But yeah. Random Stacker says you still have the Triumph still. It got stolen last week, Random, but I found it and got it back. But I was saying earlier it got stripped. For those that are wondering why I never motovlog or anything anymore, thieves stripped it. It got stripped. So even they stole the seat off of it. And I bought a new seat, but it doesn't fit. So I have to have a seat made for it.
That's weird. Is your seat OEM?
No, I bought an OEM seat. It doesn't fit. The whole motorcycle is a custom motorcycle.
Oh,
if you look like what the hell do they call it? A Thunderbird? Can't remember.
What brand of motorcycle?
No, it's a Triumph, but I can't remember it's a Triumph. I think it's a Thunderbird.
Yeah, Random Stacker. It's very shitty.
Yeah, it's a Thunderbird. Let me see.
It's just, I've had buddies that have had their bikes stolen too, and they find it and everything. It's just crap.
Yeah, so
it's sad.
So give me a second. I'll show you. So this is
it's a bobber. You had it more like a cafe style, from what I remember. You did it more like a cafe style, but you did keep it kind of thick.
It's more like it's like a Mad Max, like an off-road type. So
have
here's
you heard of a bike rod?
So you see the bike here. So this is my bike. This is what my bike is. But I'll show you what my bike has been turned into. That's why I bought it, because it doesn't look anything like that.
You did such a good job on the body, though, Rav.
I didn't do it. I bought it the way it is.
Oh.
Yeah, I bought it the way it is.
That's what
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any. I don't know where the pictures are on my freaking. I have pictures on my Facebook, but I don't know where they're at. Oh, maybe they're in the. Maybe they're in the albums. Maybe they're in the cover photos. Let's see if there's one.
You changed everything about that. Your bike is so different. The pipes are different. Just even the rear suspension is different. Your forks are different. The handlebars are different. Your tank is a little off, but it looks really cool.
It looks like a Mad Max bike.
It is such a cool bike. I really, really like your bike.
I'm trying to think. I know I have pictures on my phone, but I can't pull them up on my computer.
Your bike reminded me a lot of a Harley Davidson Fat Bob.
The Triumph?
It looked meaty, and the Fat Bob just looks like really, really meaty. But
not the Triumph. This is the Triumph right here.
No, yours, not that Triumph.
Oh, you're talking about you're talking about my Heritage Softail Classic. This is the Triumph though. But see, look, so this is the Triumph, right? This is what it looked like. This is what it was built out of. This is the same bike. It's the exact same bike. See the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely different. So see the seat? This is a stock seat. See the custom seat that got stolen?
You had it cut off. It was just a single seat. You didn't have a queen seat in the back.
Well, no, this is the seat that got stolen off the Triumph. I'm talking about the Triumph. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're thinking about my Heritage Softail Classic, which is the Softail Classic has still got a dual seat on it. Let's see, albums. It's right here. This is the bike I have in the back of the Snap-on truck right now. You see it?
No, you don't have it up. We just see the Cruiser land.
You don't see the Heritage Softail Classic?
No, because on your screen is all we could see is the Cruiser for the Triumph.
Oh wow, that's weird.
I think it's because you still have that screen.
Oh, so you didn't even see the Triumph then? I mean, you didn't even see my Triumph.
I have seen your Triumph, but in your videos.
Let me see.
You've posted your videos.
Okay, so
remember when.
let me it didn't give my Facebook. So here's my here's my bike.
There it is. Yep. I remember that. Yep.
This is the bike that I have in the back of the Snap-on truck right now.
I remember.
Yeah, this is back when I used to ride. Actually, used to ride.
Man, I love that. Oh, that was a West Coast.
Yeah, this is my old my other old bike. That's a West Coast Choppers.
Yeah.
But then this is so this is the, let me find what was this? I think it was in profile. Yeah. So this is my see, this is it, right? This is the bike right here. This is my Triumph.
It's so sick.
They stole the seat off of it. They stole everything off of it.
It's such a sick bike.
But I will eventually get it back up and running because I do love this bike.
It looks like a very comfortable bike to ride. How's the ride for you?
How's the ride? It's good. It's not real fast. I mean, it goes like, here's my old Heritage Softail Classic. It goes like, like 80, 85 but can you see so the other bike, that's the bike that the Triumph is built out of, the one that I had up earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, we already hit an hour on here.
Well, when I'm with you, we chat for we sit, we talk. I mean, we just, you and I can just talk for anything, talk about anything, and just shoot.
So I'm thinking about bringing the podcast back, guys. Is anybody still in here? Anybody want to see the podcast again?
Random Stacker still here. Tell them yes, Rob. You can back on.
So the last time you were here, I was going to have you do the podcast when you were in my office. She's actually been in my office, for you guys that don't know. She's been in here. Yeah. In here.
Stop it. I've been in the office. I'd have to go down 4 feet, fool. You got to stand up.
That's true. Yeah.
Stand up when you talk to me. I'm just kidding.
She does. So for those that didn't hear, she's like 6'4". She's super tall.
It looks like Travman and Random Stacker are like, yes. Please.
We went to the mall that time. Remember when you bought some new tennis shoes? Yeah. And it was like, it's so weird to walk around.
You were making fun of my feet, you butthole. I remember you and my buddy George.
Her freaking feet are like.
Yo, he called my feet Volkswagens.
Yeah. There you go. She's got like Shaq feet.
Shut. No, I don't, dude. But my basketball coach did tell me I used to shoot like Shaq. So.
Oh, Travman says, I just wish there was a super chat. Oh, there's no super chat?
What is that? What's a super chat?
The super chat is where you can donate and give money and stuff. But I think that got taken away from me, Travman, when they demonetized my YouTube channel. I used to have all that stuff, but yeah, I don't make any money off YouTube anymore because they demonetized my channel.
What causes that?
It was my own fault. I got all into the controversy of all the, I got into the controversy of all the political crap, you know what I mean? And I was thinking I could get into that and grow a channel really quick, because it was like with all the, I don't even want to say the names. You don't even say the names, you know what I mean? But all that political controversy blew up, and I saw all of these I can't even think their names. But anyway, there was all of these conservative commentary channels that started up on YouTube, and I was like, oh, I'll jump on that bandwagon because I can talk about politics all day, you know what I mean? But man, YouTube, they took my money, and this YouTube channel right here it's 16, 17 years old. I started this YouTube channel. Wait, I can tell you, I started this YouTube channel in 2006.
Dang.
And it'd been monetized ever since you could monetize on YouTube. It'd been monetized for years, but they took my monetization away and put a thing on there that said, can no longer monetize because of dangerous content. Yep. I could show you. You know what? I could actually show you guys. Watch this. You don't believe me? Watch this shit. I'll show you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because of dangerous.
I was wondering, because dude, you were hot for a minute. I remember I was going on Twitch too with you.
That's why I don't I mean, it's and I've spent thousands of dollars on equipment. You know what I mean? And then to have your
I
money.
know. I've seen you guys' studio setup is so nice.
I didn't, I never made like a crazy amount of money off my YouTube, but I have 2 channels. Some of you guys know I have another channel called Nomad News. So between the 2 channels, I would bring in anywhere from 300 to 600 a month. And even though it wasn't a lot of money, it's money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that always gave me that always gave me inspiration to keep making videos. You know what I mean? Because as you're making money, and if you hit it with a viral video, it could really blow up. You know what I mean? So that's why I did it. But when you're not making any money at all, it's hard to like take it seriously and continue to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
but I do it because it's fun. I enjoy doing it. Like this right here, I love doing this. Like when I have a guest on, and it's what makes it fun. So when are you thinking about being, or when you gonna? I know you were gonna be in LA, but then it got postponed.
I'm still trying to get there out. I probably am. I have some bookings that I had come through today because I've been marketing myself, and I know like talking with you, help me out, even photo shoots. I mean, I'd still need to shoot with you, Rob. What the heck? Man.
I know we do need to shoot.
We've done everything under the sun, but have an actual photo shoot. I've been with you shooting other people.
That's true. That's very true. Random Stacker says it's passive income. Exactly, Random Stacker.
Yeah, that residual income is yeah. So we want to be that for sure. But yeah, I still probably shooting towards the end of this month, about a week. I'm working on stuff still, so I'm gonna start looking at like hotels and flights and all that stuff probably in a little bit. I need to follow up with someone just to confirm some stuff, but that's what I'm looking at, dude. I would love to see you.
I could always take you down to Figueroa Street and put you on the corner down there. You make
let's not do that, dude.
You make plenty of money for the weekend.
You need to stop. No, let's not do that. I'm gonna be stolen to like the border. Stop. They're gonna like drug me, and
you were like 6'4". Nobody's gonna steal you. Are you gonna just grab them the road?
That's what you think.
Pick them up. I know.
They're gonna drug me up.
Now, remember the last time that we were at the hotel, and you were like telling me, because you did jiu-jitsu too, and you were like, oh, you couldn't get me in.
Oh my God.
Remember you told me I couldn't get you in a rear naked choke, and I got you in a rear naked choke like that.
No, but
she was a little bit tappy. She was tapping like that quick.
Dude, it's because I know. You have really
she's like, I do. She's 6'4", and she's way bigger than I am. And she's like, I've been doing jiu-jitsu, and I didn't even tell you I really did jiu-jitsu. I've done jiu-jitsu for years. We're talking decades.
We met Eric. Remember Eric when we were working on set? I still like talk to him every so often on Instagram. I don't know if you remember him on set. I don't. He was like the little white dude that was there basically with Bella's mom.
Oh, Trabman, yes, I do still have the 2-burner stove, the little Coleman. Yeah, that thing is amazing. I still use it every now and then. The little camp stove when I go camping. Yeah, Trabman sent me like a camp stove, and I love that thing. I love it. Yeah, you just put the little bottle on the side of it, and like I use it today. I'll like grab it, and if I'm gonna go out camping somewhere, and I'll just grab like some soup or something, and I have these little camp pans and take it with me. Yeah, Trap Band, you're the man on that.
That doesn't matter. I know, Random Stacker.
But she's done jujitsu, so she thought because of her jujitsu, she thought she could trump my jujitsu, but didn't work out too well for her.
He has better technique, dude. You have technique and been with other. Well, you were going to Gracie gyms, okay? The Gracie gyms out here are different than the Gracie gyms out there.
I just been doing it for a long time, and the funny thing is like I literally just have like some signature moves that I do. You know what I mean? Yeah. That if you're not on a certain level, you don't know how to block them. You know what I mean? You don't know how.
Anticipate it, yeah.
Yeah, somebody that's a black belt, it's no problem for them. But, until you get to that certain level, you don't know how to offset those. And so it's like a hot knife cutting through butter for somebody that doesn't, you know what I mean? Like I've had dudes that wrestle, that are like wrestlers that way outweigh me. And they're like, oh boy, I could just lay on you. I'm like, you really think so? We can go right now. Well, we move the tables out. They're tapping.
play Gracie.
Yeah.
No. That was the gym we were talking about. But it's funny because you know what? We have the gyms out here, the Gracies out here. I was gonna go to a Gracie gym before I went to Aries. But when I went in, I had 2 Gracie gyms around my side of town tell me that the way they rank up their next belt is with a paper test.
I've never heard of that.
I did the same reaction. I was like,
well, the deal is like a real jiu-jitsu gym. You should look into 10th Planet. Because when you're rolling, are you rolling in a gi or are you doing no gi?
I do both because we have gi and no gi, but I haven't gone in a minute. But I still have my gi. I've been wanting to go back.
You should look at 10th Planet. I mean, I because that's a Eddie Bravo gym, so that's the new no gi. But the thing is I think every girl should do gi. You should start with gi before you move to no gi. The reason you should start with gi is because, and you need to move up to you need to get to be like a brown belt. You know what I mean? Like a brown belt, maybe even a purple belt.
Purple. I was gonna. Yeah, I was shooting a purple or brown.
If you could get up to like a purple belt, maybe not. Maybe you don't have to get the black belt, but at least get up to purple belt. But like a real BJJ gym, they won't even tell you. Your head instructor will come out there and hand you the belt. You know what I mean? You won't even know.
Exactly.
They'll come out and go, you have progressed. Here's your belt. You know what I mean? Yes. That's how it works. You don't take a test and go, oh, if you pass these questions. I've never even heard of that.
That's why I was like, I'm not gonna go.
That's the problem with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu becoming so mainstream. Yeah. It's like Taekwondo from
the UFC gyms started hitting that really big. You know what? You just made me remember something. When we were on set, I remember talking to Chuck Liddell, and he was making me laugh. I think I went up to you and I told you, but he was like, well, kind of embarrassed. Can you help me? He was putting on the Santa suit. Remember they were making him wear the Santa suits?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he was putting on the Santa suit. So he had an injury, I think it was on his right shoulder, and he couldn't pick his arm up. It was just stuck right there. He's like, oh, I know you're taller than me. Well, you're a lot taller than me. Can you help me?
You're not a lot taller than me. Chuck is 6'2".
I was like
6'2". He's 6'1". He's probably 6'1".
He was short.
He's shrunk a little bit. Yeah, he's not as tall as you. But Chuck is like 6'1", 6'2". Booty Stank. What's going on, Booty?
Who's Booty?
The podcast. Booty Stank is he says, what the hell is this? He's on Twitch. Booty is my old one of my old Call of Duty teammates.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
So he saw me and he's like,
anymore?
Huh?
You don't do Warfare streaming anymore?
Or Warzone?
Warzone, there we go.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Like the new CODs are terrible. Like I grinded away the other night, but it's just like they ruined the game. Like they came out with Warzone 2.0 and it's like a downgrade from the original. Like the original, like Verdansk, it was the shit, man. And now it's just like, it's like the old Verdansk, the old Warzone 1. On my level from a 1 to 10, it was a 10. It was like the funnest game I'd ever played. And then they came out with Warzone 2, and it's like a 5.7. I mean, you play it, but like I don't get all enthusiastic about it. You know what I mean? Like the old one, I would be like pumped to play. I'd be like excited, like going to like a little kid going to Six Flags. You know what I mean? Just to get to play, you know what I mean? And now I'm just like, if I could play right now, like when I get off here, I could play. I don't even care. You know what I mean?
On Twitch, you hop on and start streaming. Was the last time you streamed on Twitch? Do you remember? DB Nova still hits me up.
Oh, does Nova? Yeah. Nova. Actually, me and Nova played COD like at one time. But yeah, I wish so. They're coming out with a new Warzone, so we'll see how it does. They just screwed up the movement. The movement used to be real. Like if you could move really well, you could always win the gunfights, and then they like limited that to where it's like the first person to see the other one is the one that wins the gunfights, which sucks. Yeah.
It ruins the playing aspect of you having a game, because then it's real life at that point.
Because the reason, I mean, I understand the reason they did it. The reason that they did it is because like you had people like me that were playing like 8 to 12, 15 hours a day, you know what I mean? Like 6 days a week.
Right.
And then you would have like the dude that was like, his wife had given permission to play like for a couple hours on Friday evening, you know what I mean? And he would get on and just get annihilated. You know, he'd run into somebody like me and just get annihilated.
Yeah.
And then they have like, it's called a match rank. So like you end up you just end up with a bunch of demons. So then nobody, you know, everybody is like the same. You know what I mean? So like if you're a beginner, you get on there and after you play like a few games, you're all beginners. You know what I mean? Because it's match ranked. Yeah. So it's hard to explain it.
Let me know when you're on.
Yeah. I will, Booty.
Like me minus the wife.
Randall says sounds like me minus the wife. That's funny.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of wives, Rav, are you dating anybody right now?
Nobody. No, there's a girl up in I suck. Random Sucker says I suck at COD. I suck at it too now. That's the other thing. I'm not that great at it. I play Modern Warfare. I don't really play Warzone anymore. I just play Modern Warfare. Trabman says NVIDIA, the PC gaming graphics card company, is integrating AI into their graphics cards for computers.
Aren't they doing that also with Diablo?
I haven't heard that.
I thought Diablo the game. I have a buddy that just got hired working for Diablo, and I think they did some really cool things with the game. I want to play it really bad.
I have a RTX 2080 NVIDIA graphics card in mine. It's an 8 gigabyte card in my computer right now.
Can you get Diablo?
I could, yeah. I'm not. I had the old original Diablo way back in the day. I'm not into those. I'm not. I know it's super popular. Like it got more popular than COD, but it's just like not my thing.
Honestly, I enjoy those games when I have the time. Like Skyrim, I used to.
I'm a keyboard and mouse player. So like you know, like first person shooters, FPS is like what I like. I started out in the old days on Doom. It was the very first computer game. It was called Doom, like back in 95, 96. That's what I started.
DOOM, right?
DOOM. I went from Doom. Doom was the first one, and then I went from Doom to Duke Nukem 3D. I went from Duke Nukem 3D to Quake. Quake replaced Doom. Quake was the new Doom. So I went to Quake, and I did Quake 1, Quake 2, Quake 3. And then I went from Quake to this game called Unreal Tournament. And I became one of the 20,000. I was ranked one of the 20,000 top players in the world at Unreal Tournament. At one time, I was like, I think the best ever, because it would show the rank. You could pull up the entire rank for the entire world, and it would go up to like, I think like 1 million players. It would go up to 1 million players, and I was in the top. So if you were in the top 100,000, you would get all of this stuff from Unreal Tournament. They would send you stuff in the mail, everything. You were like their official team at being 20,000 because there was so many people playing at those days. Yeah. Now, like with COD, you got to be like one of the top 100, maybe even 50.
That's too much dedication for me. I don't know.
All right. We are literally hitting an hour and a half, and I try to not go too long in this thing because people get bored of watching it. But anyway, maybe we'll do it again next week. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, man, let's do it. No, let's do it, Rav. I think it'd be good. I think it's good also. So like you're coming back, you know, stuff that I could post too. We have good conversations. Hold on, right? Me and Rav started out with the exact same games on PC, and I think it's funny we bring up old sayings from old games, and the newer generations don't understand what we're saying.
Oh yeah, they have no idea. Like Duke Nukem, man. I even like in my chat, I'll be like, see what some of the come and get some. They used to be like, that used to be like one of the Duke Nukem. I actually have them all in my thing here, my Stream Deck.
Yeah. I
have all the Duke Nukems programmed into my Stream Deck, but I don't know if I have that. Yes. I actually have. I don't know where they're at though. Let me see. I'm trying to remember where I put them into.
I want a soundboard so bad. I want to create.
Yeah, I have a whole soundboard, and I programmed all the that you can't hear them because it's Wait a minute. Let's see.
I'm not that young, Jasmine.
Yeah, they're not coming up. But yeah, I had all of these. I have all the Duke Nukem.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So it's like, come and get some. Ooh, I know that hurt. Yeah. Like, you don't remember the Duke Nukem sounds?
Probably. I'd have to hear it honestly.
Well, you're just a young whippersnapper, so.
But there's some stuff I know. Don't even. Just because I didn't know Too Short, don't even throw that at me.
Let me see. Let's see. Duke Nukem. Sound.
I have a buddy that I keep telling him, I'm like, yo, you need to make a soundboard because the shit that you say is way too funny. And the noises you make are hilarious. Because why? Duke Nukem.
Did you hear it?
No, I can't hear anything on our end.
Oh, you didn't hear the Duke Nukem?
No.
Oh my gosh. I guess I have to share the screen. Hold on a second. Let me start it over. So all of these are Duke Nukem sounds. Let me bring the screen up.
Remember playing on Wolfenstein?
Yeah, you'll hear it now. You ready? Here we go.
This is a force to be reckoned with. I'm an equal opportunity ass kicker. I ought to break a broom handle off in your ass. Damn, I'm good. Call me now for your free whipping. Hail to the king, baby.
That was my favorite one. Hail to the king, baby.
That's so good.
Kicker. I ought to break a broom handle off in your ass. Damn, I'm good.
That's my other one. I'd be like, damn, I'm good. Anybody else want some?
Dude, those are epic.
So that was the soundtrack for that game, and that game came out in I want to say it came out in maybe 97. It's called Duke. So it was so crazy. Like the sound on that game is still better than any game that's ever been invented. Let's see when it came out. 1996. I initial release is 1996. I said 96, 97. So I was playing it in 96, 97. And it's so funny because I play it every now and then now because it's on Steam and it's so corny. But the sounds are still amazing.
But I was gonna ask you, there's this one show we're watching. Ted.
Wolfenstein. Yeah, I played Wolfenstein. I never really got into Wolfenstein. I played Random Stacker says he played Wolfenstein. I played Wolfenstein a little bit, but I was way more into Duke Nukem. And then when Quake came out, I played Quake a lot.
Yeah, it came out in 96.
Yeah, 96. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. I appreciate you joining me there, young lady.
I appreciate you having me. It's a pleasure always.
I found it. I found my. Can you hear it?
That I could hear. I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Listen. So I found my. I found it by accident. Here's all my Duke Nukem.
Don't have time to play with myself. What are you waiting for? Christmas? Yo ho ho and a bottle of Jack. I'm gonna get medieval on your asses. I'm gonna put the smack dab on your ass. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Who wants some? Hail to the king, baby. Damn, I'm good. This is KTIT, K-Tit, playing the best tunes in town. It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum. I've got balls of steel. I'll rip your head off and shit down your neck. Die, you son of a bitch.
That was a video game from 1996.
That's so good.
Me, son of a bitch. This really pisses me off. You're pissing me off. I'm Duke Nukem. After a few days of R&R, I'll be ready for more action.
Yo, that you need to use that more.
Well, when I'm streaming on the game, I do use it. Like I was doing it. I was playing Modern Warfare 2 one night, and I had like these kids. They were cracking up. They were laughing.
It's hilarious.
And then I used to use the voice changer. So my voice sounded like a little kid. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they'd crack up at that too, because I'd use the voice changer and make my voice really like sound like a balloon, like you're breathing.
Yeah, helium. Like you did helium, dude. One episode, you just got to do a roast fest because you're fucking hilarious. Like I just gotta get like the most brutal dudes that I know and put you guys in a room, and you guys are just gonna
roast each other.
Yeah, just awesome. Like the most hilarious like roast fest ever. Like
what is up with the like bam bam thing on top of your head?
Because my hair is too short, Rav, and right now we talked about this. I was bald. This is where I'm at, and my hair is way too short now. Yeah. So like this is my longest layer. So this is what I have to do when my hair is curly right now.
Okay.
It's better than being bald, dude. Whatever.
That's true. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this podcast. Thanks for joining us, Joy.
Thanks for having me, Rav. It's a pleasure. Talk to you soon.
All right. Let me get back to the right screen here. There we go. Do the outro.
Thank you for listening to the American Nomad Podcast. Until next time, keep looking up because that's where it all is.
Peace, guys. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, enjoy your evening.